You are listening to a production of the Weibo Podcast Network.
Hello, welcome to episode 16, season 2 of Tiger SportsPage. I'm your host, Angeline Lopez. Tiger SportsPage is a weekly podcast and a YouTube program dedicated to all things Lancaster ISD sports. Lancaster ISD, for those who don't know the geography, is in the Dallas/Fort Worth Metroplex in North Texas, just south of Dallas. Lancaster High School, most of what we cover in this podcast, is a member of the Texas University Interscholastic League and plays at the 6A division, which is a division with the largest schools and the biggest populations. We cover all of that. Now, on today's program, we're joined today by our head men's basketball coach, Ferrin Douglas. How are you? Hello, Coach. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
That's good. Your team has completed the first half of the district play. Please give us an honest first half report card.
It was definitely tough. You know, I think we dropped our first one against Duncanville. We lost at the buzzer, but I felt like that game right there kind of was gave us a measuring stick of what we had to expect throughout the rest of the district, which was about fair because every game we played since then has been tough. So the district is definitely owned up to the hype of District of Doom. Yes.
Seeing your record, anyone can tell that you have a very impressive group of athletes and staff. What are some factors you could say that contributed to such a successful play so far?
Just the guys coming in every day working hard and definitely paying attention to detail. This is like the second or third year now that we actually watch a lot of film, you know.
Yeah.
My assistant coaches does a great job with that. Coach Jackson, he does a great job of breaking film down and breaking the other teams down. So I think just our paying attention to detail and my assistant coaches, man, they doing a great job with the guys.
That's great. What are some challenges that you faced during the play so far? What challenges do you expect during the back stretch of the season?
The challenges basically is just, I think we're bigger than a lot of teams, so I think the refs are kind of reffing us big. What I mean by that is they're letting teams kind of get a lot more physical with us. And I guess since this is a 6A ball, I guess they allow you can get a little bit more physical. So I think just the first half of this, just adapting to the physicality of the game, I think this is going to carry over to the second half.
So you would say that y'all have gotten a little bit more used to it now?
Yes, for sure.
You laid out some goals before the season began. How is the process on your team's goals, and how are you going to achieve those goals? Please give us some examples about
Right.
that.
I think, definitely the goal for Lancaster basketball is to always win state championship, but I think we've laid down the foundation as far as what we need to do to get there. I think we're on schedule, but the unforeseen stuff I don't really want to bring up, but hopefully we can make it through that part and just be healthy and ready to go once the playoffs start.
We don't think we are talking out of school here. The district is launching an initiative to put the equivalent of the developmental league into the elementary schools.
Mm-hmm.
How is that going to benefit your program 5 years plus from now?
It's great. I believe they're already playing. I think our sixth grade sixth grade center is already playing. So I think they won a championship or whatever. So that's going to be great. I don't think Lancaster basketball has ever had that starting in the high school. In the school district that early. So I think it's going to pay off for us. Hopefully.
Thank you so much. Have I forgotten to ask you anything, or would you like to add anything into the podcast?
No. You're doing a great job.
Okay.
You did a great job.
Thank you for tuning in this week. Come back next week as we interview our head women's basketball coach, LaJenna Howard. Those of you listening to the podcast on your favorite podcast app, either Apple Podcast or iHeart or Spotify, please like and rate us. That will allow us to appear higher Those of you listening in the podcast on your favorite podcast app, either Apple Podcasts or iHeart or Spotify, please like and rate us. That will allow us to appear higher in the rankings and gain more listeners. If you're watching the YouTube feed, which comes out a bit later than the audio feed, please like and subscribe to the channel. You'll be notified every time we post a new video. Tiger Sports Page is a production of the Weibo Podcast Network. It is produced with the cooperation of Lancaster ISD Department of Athletics and Lancaster ISD Department of Communications. Thank you again, and thank you for listening and watching. I'm Angelina, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
This has been a production of the Weibo Podcast Network.